What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Jaden. I'm going to walk you guys through today exactly how to set up an Amazon shipping plan so that way you can get your inventory from China or wherever your supplier is to Amazon, to the fulfillment centers, whether you're selling on Amazon using FBA, so Amazon fulfills your orders and you're selling on the Amazon marketplace, or you're using multi-channel fulfillment where you're using something like Shopify and you're using Amazon to fulfill your Shopify orders. This is a video for you because I'm going to walk you guys through step by step, and I'm going to give you guys access to exact messages that I've used personally to talk to your supplier, because I know sometimes it can be hard to think of what to say, but that will be linked down below in the description where you can download it. Just simply then click on file and make a copy, and you'll be able to download that and copy and paste and fill in those messages so you can send them to your supplier. But let's get into it. So first, when you're on your Amazon seller account, you're going to go to Shipments, and you're going to click on Send to Amazon. And then your products will show up right here. And if this is the first time, then you're not going to see like the address or the packing templates, but you'll go first to here. You're going to say, you're going to click on add contact, and you're going to fill in the address that your supplier gives you. And so that's where the first message comes in. First, you're going to send this message. This is an example message, but also down below will be a template you guys can use to fill in your own information. But you'll send this message to your supplier. So you'll ask like, how many cartons are there? What's the carton's dimensions? How many units of each color or size are in one carton? What address will you be shipping from? And that's important to fill out this info right here. So you'll want that question answered. You'll want all these questions answered before you can move forward with this tutorial. But anyway, so you can send that to your supplier, and then you fill in your address. In this case, it's already set up for me. But then once you fill that out, then you're going to go down here, and you need to know how many units you're ordering, of course, and how many boxes, how many cartons, stuff like that. But you're going to click on packing details. You're going to click create new packing template. You're going to name it, like I'm just going to name it test template for now. Okay, I did that earlier, so test template 1. So in this case, you only want to use the single SKU pallet if you're getting shipped pallets. Pallets are those big truckload, or it's basically a large amount of boxes that will be on a pallet. It's like a huge wooden square that those big boxes will be sitting on, but most of the time you'll be using cartons, which are smaller boxes. And so usually that's what you'll be using. I use that for my units. So that's like if you have a couple hundred units, you'll be using case packs. In this case, if you're using like, if you order like 1,000+ units, then you may be using single SKU pallets. But again, single SKU pallets are only if there's just one SKU in that whole pallet. If there's multiple, then you'll still use case pack. But anyways, you're going to type in however many units are in per box. Now keep in mind, this is the box of your individual products. So in this case, so it's going to be one for you because there's only one product per box. Or in other words, your customer, when they buy a product, they're only buying one humidifier, one unit of your product. It's not the total amount of boxes that your supplier is sending you. It's just simply how many units, in a sense, or how many units of your product are in one box. And in this case, it's one for basically everybody, unless you're doing a bundle. But anyways, you'll type in your box dimensions and the box weight and who labels the units. So Amazon can do this for you, but again, you have to have like a UPC barcode or something like that. So in this case, your supplier has to create the or put on the labels for your product, and that is so Amazon can know, okay, what kind of units are in which box and stuff like that, and what kind of unit is the individual product. Is it like a white unit? Is it, especially if you have different SKUs, this can be helpful to identify, okay, like these are the white humidifiers, these are the pink ones, these are the gray ones, etc. And usually your supplier can do it for no fee or just a small charge. Like my supplier doesn't charge any fee for it. They said no problem, they can do it. And that message is in here in this template that you'll be getting that you can use and just copy and paste this and send it to your supplier. but you would just send them like, hey, we have barcodes that are supposed to go on each unit, and would you be willing to put those on for us, please? And then you can attach, they'll come in a PDF format, so I'll show you guys. So you'd fill this out, click save, and print SKU labels, and then click on print. And so for print labels, you're going to want to put however many units of that SKU are in there. So in this case, for the sake of example, we're going to put 100. I'm going to say print. We're going to click on this. And the reason why that number is important is because so that way there's 100 labels that they can put on the 100 units that you bought. So you're going to send this PDF to your supplier. And then usually I just like to be clear, like, okay, the pink humidifiers should have a label from the name of the PDF that we just downloaded. And usually I like to name the PDF so the supplier doesn't get confused. So in this case, it's for the Aurora Pink humidifiers. So I'm just going to name this PDF like pink humidifier labels and then put the number of units in there, which is 40 in that example. In this case, it's 100, but that was from a different example earlier. But hope that makes sense. And then you'll do that for each SKU. So if you have like white humidifiers, then you'll do the same thing. You'll click on, you'll print your SKU labels. You'll put in, let's say it's 100 again. Then you'll download that. And then boom, you have 100 labels right here. You'll name this PDF like white humidifier labels or whatever your product is, something that your supplier will know, okay, this is for this product and this is for this other SKU product. But you'll do that for each one, however many products and however many variations of your product you're sending. But once you create your packing details, you can refresh the page. And then, in this case, I didn't create one because I already had packing templates created, but then you'll select that one. And then, or I'm sorry, you're going to click on individual units because you're not sending boxes, you're sending different units. In this case, it would be 100. Click ready to pack. And we'll type in how many boxes we have because as you guys may remember, in this first message we sent to the supplier, we asked how many cartons are there in total. And so for the sake of example, we're pretending there's multiple. We'll pretend there's 3 boxes in the case of this scenario. But so first you're going to, for packing details, you're going to type in individual units, then type in 100. You don't want to type in like 100 boxes on accident because that's not good. It's just going to mess things up. So click on individual units for all of them. And then type in your units. In this case, I'm just going to put 100 for all of them for the sake of example. And then, yes, just make sure to print the SKU label, send it to your supplier. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. For some reason, it didn't let me put 100, but that's fine. That's fine. This is just an example. But your total prep and labeling fees should not cost you anything unless you're getting Amazon to put the labels on for you once your inventory arrives at the fulfillment center. But in this case, our supplier is doing it, so it shouldn't show any charge on the Amazon side. So we're going to confirm, yep, 250 units, and then we're going to click pack individual units. Okay, and now this is where the number of cartons comes in handy. So now we're going to see, okay, in this case, we're going to pretend there are 3 cartons. And so we're going to say multiple boxes will be needed. Click confirm. Let's say 3. Again, exact number does not need to be needed, or it isn't needed, but it definitely helps. So now we're going to put in like, okay, how many white humidifiers are in the first box? How many are in the second? How many in the third? For the sake, so like if let's say there's 50 in box 1 and then there's 50 in box 2. So just make sure it equals 100 of 100 or however many units you have. In this case, we'll pretend, yep, same thing. Okay, there's 50 in each. And then for this one, we'll say there's 50 in the third carton. And then you're going to type in the box weight, which again, you got from the supplier here, the carton dimensions and weight. So we'll pretend this is 25 pounds. Say 25 pounds, and we'll pretend this is 15 pounds. Okay, and then box dimensions. So if you have multiple box or carton sizes, then you'll put them in. So let's just say 15 by 15 by 15. Make it simple, and then you'll check mark like, okay, that's for the first two boxes, and then maybe the third one is like 10 by 10 by 10. Again, for the sake of example, we'll just do that. There we go. Cool. Does that make sense, guys? Perfect. So now click confirm packing information. Minimum. Okay, that's for some reason for the examples. That's fine. It won't show up for you. For that, when you get your actual dimensions, that they'll be fine. They always are fine because suppliers and all that, they know how to do this. They've done this plenty of times. But just click confirm and continue. Again, yep, the pack group looks good. That's the total amount of units that you're sending and in 3 boxes, which was correct. And now we go into this. So first, the ship date, the expected day your inventory ships from your supplier's factory or warehouse. And you can ask them for how long. You can also just check like, hey, what is your lead time? And if you've ordered from the past from them, then you'll know. But if this is your first time, then you can check on like Alibaba or AliExpress, say the average lead time. But you can just ask your supplier, just like, hey, what's your lead time? And like, how long is this expecting to, or how long until this is expected to ship out? And then you can just put a random, or you can put that date that they give you. And I've done it where literally I ship like it shipped out 3 weeks later than the date that I originally put, and I was fine. I wasn't charged any extra fees or anything like that. So even if it's not 100% accurate, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So just put May 4th for the sake of example. And now we're going to click small parcel delivery. So less than truckload, that's if you have multiple pallets. If you have multiple pallets where you're ordering like 1,000+ units, then you'll probably need to do LTO. But if you have less than 1,000 units, then you're going to do small parcel delivery. So I'll walk you guys through small parcel delivery SPD, and we'll go from there. So again, make sure that it's 3 boxes, 3 SKUs, and 250 units. That's the total amount of units. You can also check in here to see if you need to print the labels again, or if anything else you need to check. But that's fine. And again, we got from our supplier, we know the carrier because we asked them the questions earlier. So we'll pretend it's DHL and we'll say by air. And then accept. Again, still no charge. That's good. There shouldn't be any charge for any of this. Same with receiving. There's no charge for receiving. Unless you have like dangerous goods or something that Amazon considers dangerous goods, then there could be a surcharge or a fee for that. Okay, but anyways, then you will have, okay, so now we print out the box labels. So you're going to click print. And okay, boom. Here's what we got. And so there's a couple different things here. First, as you can see, there's some Chinese here. That's just to help the suppliers because Amazon knows a lot of people are working with Chinese suppliers. So they just put that there. But obviously there's English here too, so we can read it as well. But then you'll see down here there's mixed SKUs, and in this third box there's single SKU. You can tell the box number by this, number 1, number 2, and box 3. And if you remember, box 3 contained just the gray humidifiers, just the 50 gray humidifiers, and so that's why it says single SKU. And if you remember, boxes 1 and 2 contain both the pink and the white humidifier, so that's why it says mixed SKUs in there. And so basically you're going to you're going to download this, you're going to name it like, Atlas box labels or whatever, and then send it to your supplier. And you can use, again, this message here, which is in the link in the description of this video. You can download it for free and use it, but then you'll basically name like, okay, you'll put the name of the PDF here, you'll say how many cartons there are, and then usually, again, I just like for the sake of clarity, so supplier knows 100% what's going on, there's no miscommunication, I just say like, okay, the first box label that says P1B1, which, is that one, box 1, then, that's the carton that contains, in our example, it contains 50 pink humidifiers and 50 white humidifiers, and then the same thing for P1B2, which is the second box right here. And so, and then the third one said 50 gray humidifiers. So that was in our case for the same example, but I just typed that out so that way my supplier knows, hey, so that way there's no confusion. They know exactly where to put the box labels on which carton. And so, okay, so once you send that to your supplier, they may also need the address for where for the fulfillment center that they'll be sending it to. And so in this case, you'll use the ship to address. You can just copy this whole thing, and you can paste it and send it to them. So paste, boom, and yeah, okay. So that'll be all good. And then just click to proceed to enter tracking details. Boom, there we go. And then basically just once your supplier, once they create your products and they're ready to ship it out, and once they do ship it out, then ask your supplier, or you can ask them now, just like, hey, whenever you get the tracking information for this, can you please send it to me? So then that way you can insert the tracking information, and then Amazon will know when to expect your inventory to arrive at their fulfillment center. And yeah, guys, that's basically it for the shipping plan. The first time I did it, it was so confusing. It took me like all day literally to do it. It took me like 8 hours. But I hope this video helps with making it a lot easier for you guys. And so, like I said, you guys get this entire template for free. It'll be in the link, or there'll be a link in the description of this video where you can download it. So, but you won't have access to edit it. You'll have to click on File and then make a copy, because I can't give access, or I can't give master access to everybody. So, just make a copy so you can copy and paste it, edit it, whatever. But so I have these example messages that I've used myself, and then you can fill in the blanks here. I just have a blank one that you can fill in with your information, like the color, size, etc. But I hope this video helps. I hope this tutorial helps, because this was really something tough that, like I said, took me a long time to figure out, and I don't want you guys to struggle with it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe for more e-commerce and supplier tips and tutorials just like this one. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have a great day.